Core boring. What is core boring? Core boring or core drilling is a sampling technique used to research mineral resources in the subsoil by boring wells in order to analyze the ground and for other digging activities for civil engineering purposes. Also, this is the method commonly used to drill through the hard rock formation. The core drilling process includes three major operations: the actual drilling, the retrieving of the core sample, and the resuming of the drilling. Together, this is called a round trip. For each round trip, the drill hole is extended by the length of one or two drill rods. There are two core drilling methods: the conventional and the wireline. The main difference lies in the method used for bringing up the core samples to the surface once the inner tube is full. Conventional core drilling. In conventional core drilling operations, a drill bit attached to a series of pipes called a drill string is rotated at high speed into the earth's surface and underlying formations. As the bit rotates, it bores a hole in the ground. Wireline core drilling. In wireline core drilling, a so-called overshot is sent down to release the inner tube. The overshot or inner tube are then hoisted up to the surface with a wire. A new inner tube is lowered down and locked in place. This method is much more productive, efficient, and safe. Choosing the right drill bit for the formation is extremely important for high productivity. Between each round trip, the driller stores the core samples in core boxes. The driller logs the time and date of the drilling, as well as depth, core recovery, and possible losses. These high-quality core samples are the final goal of the core drilling process. Boring methods, site exploration. The following are the various boring methods commonly used: auger boring, auger and shell boring, wash boring, percussion boring, and rotary boring. Auger boring. Augers are used in cohesive and other soft soils above water table. They may either be operated manually or mechanically. Hand augers are used up to a depth of 6 meters. Mechanically operated augers are used for greater depths, and they can also be used in gravelly soils. Augers are of two types: A. Spiral auger, and B. Post hole auger. Auger and shell boring. Cylindrical augers and shells with cutting edge or teeth at lower end can be used for making deep borings. Hand-operated rigs are used for depths up to 25 meters and mechanized rigs up to 50 meters. Augers are suitable for soft to stiff clays, shells for very stiff and hard clays, and shells or sand pumps for sandy soils. Small boulders, thin soft strata of rock or cemented gravel can be broken by chisel bits attached to drill rods. Wash boring. Wash boring is a boring system by which material loosened by a bit is borne to the surface in the annular space between the bit and casing by water pours down through the pipe bearing the bit. Wash boring is a fast and simple method for advancing holes in all types of soils. Boulders and rocks cannot be penetrated by this method. Percussion boring. In this method, soil and rock formations are broken by repeated blows of heavy chisel or bit, suspended by a cable or drill rod. Water is added to the hole during boring, if not already present, and the slurry of pulverized material is bailed out at intervals. The method is suitable for advancing a hole in all types of soils, boulders, and rock. The formations, however, get disturbed by the impact. Rotary boring. Rotary boring is a system of boring using usually hollow rods, with or without the production of rock cores. Rock penetration is achieved by the rotation of the cutting tool. Rotary boring or rotary drilling is a very fast method of advancing hole in both rocks and soils. Why rotary drilling has become so common? This drill type has become common within construction and mining industries due to its cheap functioning costs and ability to dig tidy, deep holes. Unlike percussion hammer bits, rotary bits are the same length throughout. The holes dug can then be smaller in diameter. These bits change oil industries by offering an alternative to the increasingly volatile percussion drills that were constantly causing oil fires or eruptions when reaching high-pressure oil wells. These drills will commonly be used for direction boring when accessing oil or gases. Fully cased drilling with rotary drive. First, casing installation with the rotary drive of the drill rig, pushing and rotating. Second, drilling with bucket, auger or core barrel. Stabilize the wall of the bore with segmental casings. Third, install reinforcement cage with the auxiliary winch of the drill rig into the borehole temporarily stabilized by the casings. Fourth, pour concrete to the trimmy pipe into the case borehole. And fifth, extract the casings with the rotary drive during concreting. Record of borings. In all exploration work, it is very important to maintain an accurate and explicit record of borings. Soil or rock samples are collected at various depths during boring. After collection of sample, the core rock is sent to laboratory. In the laboratory, rock type, texture, orientation of rock formation are found. Compression tests and permeability tests are performed on core sample to know about the compressive strength. A boring chart, similar to the one shown in the figure at the side, is prepared for each bore hole. A site plan should be prepared, showing the disposition of various bore holes on it. The depth of recovered sample must be properly recorded. Based on depth of recovery, the recovery ratio can be found. The expression for computing the recovery ratio is given below. Recovery ratio is equal to the length of core recovered divided by the theoretical length of rock cored. What is core barrel? The equipment used to form the boring is called as core barrel. The soil exploration is conducted through attaching core barrel plus cutting bit assembly with the rods. The core is advanced by the rotary drilling. What is a core? In core boring, a cylinder-shaped sample of rock or ice is extracted, which is known as a core. From these cores, it is possible to obtain a large amount of information on the climate variations of the past, thanks to what remains imprisoned in the ice such as gas bubbles, chemical elements that form the ice, sediments, fossils, and many other elements. These traces are true witnesses of past periods and are useful in order to reconstruct the climatic history of the Earth. What is rock coring? Rock coring collects bedrock cores for engineering and geological data. A diamond bit attached to a core barrel is lowered into the hole on the end of drill rods. Rock core samples are obtained by removing the inner barrel of the drill rod using an overshot retriever. What is an ice core? An ice core sample that is typically removed from an ice sheet or a high mountain glacier. Since the ice forms from the incremental buildup of annual layers of snow, lower layers are older than upper, and an ice core contains ice formed over a range of years.